Ah, cover bands. In case you didn't know, cover bands are the musical equivalent of knockoff handbags. You look the part, play the part, but deep down, everyone knows it's not the real deal. You're not here to write the next big hit or become a household name. You're here to play Sweet Caroline for the 400th time and get paid in lukewarm beer and vague compliments. Welcome to the bizarre, awkward, and sometimes downright ridiculous world of playing in a cover band. Sorry to interrupt, but if Grandma can still sing Brown-Eyed Girl, you can manage to subscribe. Ah, thanks! You're basically a human jukebox. Let's get this out of the way. You are not an artist, you are a glorified human jukebox. Audiences are not interested in your artistic interpretation of the music. They want to hear it exactly as they remember it, every note and every word. You try to throw in a little flourish or spice up that guitar solo, and boom. People start grumbling that it doesn't sound like the original. So you're stuck recreating someone else's song to perfection, down to the smallest detail. But hey, who needs creativity when you can just copy someone else's work, right? Requests, the true torture of any musician. Request songs are the soul-crushing cherry on top of your already exhausting night. Nothing quite ruins the vibe like a half-drunk middle-ages guy slurring out "Play Freebird," as if they've just unlocked some secret level of musical genius no one else has ever thought of before. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Nope. There's always that guy. You know the one. Demanding you play a song that's either completely out of your genre or requires an entire orchestra and 6 backup singers to even attempt. Bro, can you do some Led Zeppelin? I know you've only got a keyboard and a snare drum, but come on, just nail it. Newsflash, my dude, we're not Led Zeppelin, and this isn't Madison Square Garden. But sure, let me just summon a symphony out of my pocket while playing to an audience of 12 at your cousin's birthday party. If you decline politely, prepare for them to circle back in 20 minutes, still convinced it's the best idea ever. The never-ending sound check. There's nothing like spending more time on sound check than the actual gig itself. You'd think that after years of playing the same songs in the same places, your band and the sound guy could just nail it on the first try. But no, it's always a solid 45 minutes of, "Can I get more vocals in the monitor? Actually, wait, less bass. No, more bass. Wait, I can't hear myself at all." By the time you're done, you've played half your set before even starting the show. And of course, the venue's acoustics magically change the minute the crowd walks in, meaning all that effort, totally wasted. It's a miracle we even bother with sound checks at all. Let's be honest, we all know it's gonna sound like a tin can orchestra once the place fills up. The set list from hell. You may have started with dreams of playing deep cuts or cool tracks that showcase your skills, but reality kicks in fast. Welcome to the world of the most cliche set list imaginable. Living on a prayer, Don't Stop Believin', and of course the inevitable Brown-Eyed Girl. It's like a greatest hits of songs you used to like before you had to perform them 27 times a month. Now they haunt your dreams, and no matter how sick you get of playing them, the audience never seems to get enough. Because apparently, there's nothing people love more than screaming, "So good, so good, so good," at the top of their lungs every Friday night. You're not a rock star, but you're kind of expected to be. In a weird twist, playing in a cover band means you have to act like a rock star, but without any of the perks. No million-dollar contracts, no screaming fans throwing themselves at you. But you better believe the audience expects you to look and behave like you just got off tour with the Rolling Stones. People expect high energy, charisma, and for you to nail every song as if you wrote it yourself. Except instead of stadiums, you're performing in dimly lit bars, weddings, and corporate gigs. And you're backstage? It's probably the storage room next to the mop bucket. You're always someone's background noise. Here's the harsh truth. No one really came to see you. If you're playing in a bar, you're the musical equivalent of background noise, while people get drunk and try to chat over your rendition of Sweet Home Alabama. If it's a wedding, Everyone's more focused on the cake and the open bar than they are on your flawless rendition of "I Want to Dance with Somebody." As a cover band, you're just there to keep the vibe going, but don't expect anyone to remember your name or even care. How to become a professional mover with a guitar. You probably think it is a glorious life to be a cover band musician. You might think it's all about rocking out on stage, be the star of the show, and get free drinks. Well, let's not forget the real work. The endless hours spent traveling to gigs, setting up all your gear, and tearing it down at the end of the night. All this for a paycheck that barely covers gas money, let alone your sanity. You're hauling amps, drum kits, and speakers, often in the pouring rain or sweltering heat, only to play a 3-hour set and then do it all in reverse at 1 a.m. It's like you're in a never-ending loop of loading and unloading equipment. Basically a roadie with a side hustle of actually playing music. And yet, when payday comes, it's like, here's your $100 split between the band. Have fun with that. The wedding gig, where music goes to die. Playing in a wedding band is a special kind of torture. You're responsible for setting the mood during one of the most important days of someone's life, which means absolutely no room for error. You've got to play the first dance song perfectly, even if the couple's choice is a 7-minute ballad with more key changes than a Broadway musical. Then, once the slow dances are over, it's time to crank up the party with, you guessed it, the same tired old hits. But don't worry, you'll also have to deal with drunk relatives yelling requests, children running across the stage, and a bride who is way too invested in your performance of Shout. No original music allowed. If you're in a cover band and have the audacity to suggest playing an original song, prepare to be met with blank stares and uncomfortable silence. No one came to hear your passion project or that one song you wrote about heartbreak. They came to hear "I Will Survive" and "Angels." The minute you try to sneak in an original track, the crowd collectively checks out. Cover band rule number 1, stick to the hits, and whatever you do, don't think anyone cares about your creative aspirations. The band drama that never ends. For some reason, cover bands seem to attract an inordinate amount of drama. Maybe it's the frustration of not playing original music, or maybe it's the fact that you're spending hours on end with the same 3 to 5 people in a van driving to gigs. Either way, the tension is real. The drummer thinks the guitarist is showing off, the singer hates the set list, and everyone agrees that the bassist needs to chill out with the funky solos. It's like a soap opera, except instead of dramatic love triangles, you're arguing over whether to play "Don't Stop Me Now" in the encore. The revolving door of band members. In the world of cover bands, finding consistent band members is like trying to hold on to sand. People come and go constantly, whether it's because they got a better offer, from another cover band of course, or they're just tired of playing Brown Eyed Girl for the 5,000th time. It's almost impossible to build a cohesive group when every gig has a new keyboardist or a different backup vocalist. You'd think cover bands would be a stable gig, but nope, it's a rotating cast of characters at all times. That one gig from hell. Every cover band has that one gig that goes down in infamy. Maybe it's the time you played at a corporate event where no one even looked up from their phones, or the time you were booked for a backyard BBQ and ended up being paid in exposure. Whatever the scenario, it's inevitable that at least once you'll find yourself performing in a situation so ridiculous that you'll question every life choice that led you to this moment. And yet, you'll still take the next gig because, well, this is the cover band life now. The drunken audience participation. People love getting involved at cover band shows, but not in a good way. There's always that one person, usually several drinks in, who thinks they can sing and decides it's time for a duet. Before you know it, you've got a slurring, tone-deaf guest singer who's absolutely butchering whatever song you were halfway through. And of course, no one stops them, because hey, it's all part of the fun, right? You'll have to smile through it while they ruin your set. The cringe of "let's take a break." Breaks are necessary, sure, but nothing kills the energy like the words, "we're going to take a quick break." You've got the crowd dancing, they're into it, and suddenly, crickets. You vanish to the back, leaving a hole in the atmosphere, and by the time you return, half the crowd has wandered off and the vibe has totally shifted. Good luck trying to bring them back to life after a 20-minute hiatus. The gear haul, because roadies are a myth. You thought the worst part of the gig was the actual performance? Think again. The real nightmare begins when it's time to load all that equipment back into the van. And guess what? You don't have roadies. You're the roadie. So after playing your heart out for 4 hours, you're lugging amps, drum kits, and PA systems back into the van like it's a workout routine you never signed up for. And don't even think about asking for help from the bar staff. They're too busy counting tips. The paycheck, or lack thereof. Let's talk money, or the lack of it. Cover bands are notorious for getting paid next to nothing, despite the hours of work you put into learning songs, rehearsing, and performing. After splitting the fee among band members, paying for gas, and maybe grabbing a bite to eat, you're left with just enough money to cover your Netflix subscription. And that's assuming you even get paid in cash. Sometimes it's a vague promise of exposure or future bookings, which we all know never materialize. The overconfident lead singer. Every cover band has that one lead singer who acts like they're the second coming of Freddie Mercury. Sure, they've got the stage presence, but there's a fine line between confidence and delusion. It's like they're performing at Wembley Stadium, not the local dive bar. And while it's fun to see someone get into character, the exaggerated gestures, excessive crowd work, and dramatic microphone tosses get old fast. We get it, you're the star of the show, but maybe tone it down a notch. You're still just singing Bon Jovi covers. Everyone has an opinion on the song choice. One of the most frustrating things about playing in a cover band is that everyone has an opinion on your song choices. The audience, the venue owner, even the bartender, they'll all tell you what songs you should be playing, and it's never helpful feedback. Play something everyone knows, they'll say, as if you haven't spent months curating a set list of universally beloved hits. Apparently, pleasing the crowd is an impossible task, because no matter what you play, someone will complain. The endless search for gigs. Playing in a cover band means constantly hustling for gigs. You're always chasing the next booking, reaching out to venues, bar managers, wedding planners, and anyone who might need live music. But no matter how many connections you have, it's always a grind. And let's be honest, half the time you're just competing with a DJ who can offer way more variety for way less hassle. Getting consistent gigs feels like a never-ending uphill battle. The delusion of making it big. There's always that one band member who insists that the cover band is just a stepping stone to something bigger. They're convinced that if you just keep grinding, the right person will see you, and boom, you'll be headlining arenas in no time. Newsflash, that's not happening. You're in a cover band, not the Beatles. And while it's great to have ambition, maybe dial back the fantasies a little and focus on playing your next gig at the local brewery. Tribute bands take the cake. As if playing in a regular cover band wasn't enough, there's also the world of tribute bands. These are the people who really take their job seriously, dressing up and fully embodying the band they're covering. Sometimes it's impressive, but other times it's just plain weird. Watching a group of middle-aged guys dress up like Kiss and perform in a bar to 20 people is equal parts entertaining and cringeworthy. Tribute bands take the cover band life to a whole new level of dedication, or delusion. The ultimate humbling experience. If you ever get too big for your britches, remember this. You're playing someone else's songs for a crowd that would rather be listening to the real thing. Nothing humbles you quite like being a cover band musician. No matter how well you nail that guitar solo or hit that high note, at the end of the day, you're still just imitating the greats. And that's okay, it's a fun gig. But if you're in it for the fame and fortune, you're in the wrong business. And there you have it. Do you play in a cover band? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.